Hey, my name's Cole Kelly. This is Eric Spencer. We're both financial literacy teachers, and we did this the last time they changed insurance in Alpine School District, and so we thought we'd do it again. This time we're going to record it and share it with as many teachers are as interested in looking at it. But comparing the plans, comparing the insurance plans that are being offered. And if you are a district employee, if you are a health insurance agent or a financial professional, and you think we've got something wrong or you have some feedback for us, love to hear your feedback. We want to make sure we get this right. We want to make sure that we get good information out to the teachers of Alpine School District. But this is what I have written on the board, and I'm a whiteboard guy, so I wrote it up here on the whiteboard. But Plan 1, Plan 2, Plan 3, Plan 4, and Plan 5, those are all of the plans that we had in the past, okay? And so this is a comparison chart, and it's showing, okay, this is what we're changing to. So Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C, those are now your options of what you have available to you, okay? And I want to make sure that you understand some basic financial terms and some basic financial concepts when it comes to insurance, okay? First off, let's talk about deductible, okay? The first number is deductible per person. The second number is deductible per family. So if you have one person in your family that is, tends to get sick more often or tends to have more medical issues than anybody else in the family, then that per person deductible may come into play in your family. This one right here is for the family. So you could have multiple family members have things happen, and this would be the deductible that you meet for the family. Okay, no matter how big your family or small. If it's a two-party, then you're going to be two-party. But if it's husband, wife, and child, then you're a family. If you're a husband and wife with 5 kids, then you're still a family. If you're a single mom with multiple kids, then you're still going to be a family, okay? And on the family plan. But one of the things that I want to make sure that I'm clear about is that what we're looking at right now applies to a full-time certified employee of Alpine School District, okay? And we're looking at family. We're not looking at two-party, and we're not looking at single. And so if you want to look at analyzing two-party and single, we can do that. But this deductible amount here for Plan A is $3,750, $7,500 for the family. On Plan B, it's $4,250 per person, $8,500 for the family. And on Plan C, it's $5,000 per person, $10,000 for the family. Okay. Now, this is max out of pocket, okay? The way that max out of pocket is supposed to work is it's the maximum that you will spend on medical expenses in the year. In our case, it's a fiscal year of September 1 to August 31, okay? And so per person, the max out of pocket on this plan would be $6,000 per person, $12,000 for the family, okay? In Plan B, it's $7,000, $14,000 max out of pocket. And on Plan C, it's $6,000, $12,000 max out of pocket, okay? Now, what these numbers represent, and I think it's important to understand, this is if you go to a doctor visit with a primary care physician. So your primary care physician, you're gonna pay a $30 copay. If you go into a specialist, you're gonna pay a $50 copay. If you go to an urgent care facility, you're going to pay $50, and if you go to the ER on this plan, you're going to pay $300, okay? On this plan, it's $35 for your primary care physician, $60 for a specialist, $60 for the urgent care facility, and then $400 for the ER. Now this one, you're going to have to meet your deductible, and we'll discuss that. But if you go in for a doctor visit for your primary care physician, you're going to have to pay whatever the cost of that is, okay? Now, I've been on, and this is commonly referred to as an HSA plan. We'll discuss why here in just a second, but I've been on this one for quite a while. Generally speaking, when you go into the doctor, If you tell them that you're on an HSA plan and you're paying for the appointment, it's generally pretty reasonable. Definitely not going to be $35, definitely not going to be $30, but you're going to pay full price for that visit, okay? Now, the thing that's important to understand is under the Affordable Health Care Act, there are certain things that are covered 100% no matter whether you're on Plan A, Plan B, or Plan C. If it is preventative care, so if you do something like a colonoscopy, it's going to be covered 100% on Plan A, Plan B, or Plan C because it is preventative care, okay? You are entitled to one doctor visit, a checkup per year that's covered 100%. So if you go in for just a checkup, Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, going to be covered 100% because of that is something that came into play that insurance companies have to cover under the Affordable Care Act, okay? But if you go in for, if you've got the flu and you go in and you want to see your primary care physician for the flu, that's when you're going to have to pay for this visit. But if you go in for a checkup, it's going to be covered, okay? Now, the co-insurance amounts, what that means is once you've met your deductible, the co-insurance kicks in. So if you have a major medical procedure, you'll meet your deductible, but then the insurance company would then cover 85% and you would pay 15%. On this plan, it's 80-20, so the insurance company would cover 80%, you would pay 20%, but that's after you've met your deductible, okay? And on this plan, again, it's 80-20, but that's only after you've met your deductible here as well. So really, if your 20% ends up being more than $1,000, you're going to meet your max out of pocket, okay? Now let's talk about what these cost. On this plan here, Plan A, you're paying $328 a month, okay, which ends up being $3,936 per year. So that's what you're going to pay as a family for Plan A, okay? For Plan B, you're paying $60 a month, okay, which is $720 a year. With Plan C, this is the unique thing, is the reason why I did red and blue is because you're paying that. In this one, the district will take $157 every month and contribute it to your HSA, which is a health savings account. So you actually have $157 each month that you can spend towards medical needs and medical procedures. So that ends up being $1,884 a year. The way I calculate this, I really just have I can't comprehend why you would choose Plan A, because you're going to spend $3,936 just in premiums for this plan here, okay? And then you're still going to have to meet a deductible of $3,750. Now, I sat down with an agent one time and said, why would somebody choose this? And I know I'm biasing, and so that's why I'm saying, if you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. But they said a lot of people like to have the comfort of knowing that if they go in for the flu, they just have to pay that $30, okay? And whereas on this plan over here, you go into that doctor visit, you're going to pay a lot more than $30 for that visit. But in this plan here, you've got $157 a month every month that's going in. So if you're having chronic illness and you're having a lot of issues, well, then if you're having a lot of issues, you're probably getting into where you're meeting that deductible and maybe even that max out of pocket. Well, let's look at the max out of pocket. On Plan A, you're $6,000 here, $12,000 for the family. Max out of pocket here, you're $6,000, $12,000. Okay. Now, one of the things that Alpine School District is doing this year, I think it's a tremendous benefit, is they've partnered with a company named Garner, and Garner is saying, hey, we're going to reimburse you for certain expenses. They're doing $2,000 per individual, $4,000 for a family, but that doesn't matter whether you're on Plan A, Plan B, or Plan C. Okay. Now, one thing that I do that just to help you understand, if I take $300 a month, okay, and I contribute $300 a month to my HSA. So that's $3,600 a year plus $1,884 that the district's putting in. And if you think about that, that's pretty close to meeting that deductible there, okay? And so then we start talking about max out of pocket. You got another $1,000 to go, and you've met your max out of pocket there, and the rest for the remainder of that year is covered, okay? So Eric, you've got a lot of insight on this. Eric's family situation is a lot different than mine. What do you want to share?
Well, I just like to look at the difference between Plan A and B collectively with
Sure.
Plan C, because my wife, one, she's diabetic. She just fought cancer this year, and so we were looking at that, and we usually meet our out-of-pocket maximum, at least for her. And so as we've been kind of comparing this,
So
we're trying to look at
the
C.
individual deductible max out of pocket,
yes,
deductible max out of pocket, and then the deductible and max out of pocket. Now, something we don't have up here that you got to consider as well is prescriptions, okay? And with prescriptions on Plan A, there's no deductible per person, there's no deductible per family, okay? On this one, it was $250 per person, $750 for a family, okay? And on this one, your prescriptions go towards your RX deductible, okay? And so the deductible and the max out of pocket, it doesn't matter whether it's prescription or surgeries or what the medical need is, it all contributes to that, okay? And so technically speaking, you know, your deductible here is $4,500 if you add in prescriptions per person, right? And like $9,250 for the family if you're meeting, you know, those deductibles for the entire family. So
correct.
yeah. So if you have questions, love to hear your questions, and we have.
Where are they meeting for the insurance?
Oh, are you scheduled for today?